Hey, GlobeGoz fellow travelers. George here, your trusted travel companion. Planning a trip to the United States? Hold on to your hats, folks, because things just got real. We're diving deep into some critical U.S. travel advisory updates you absolutely need to know before packing those bags. We're talking stricter entry enforcement, surprising warnings from countries like the UK, Canada, and Germany, and even specific advice for transgender travelers. Remember, knowledge is your passport to a smooth and enjoyable journey. So, buckle up, hit that subscribe button, and let's get you updated and ready for your American adventure. All right, folks, first things first. The United States is tightening its borders, and it's not just talk. The UK, Canada, and Germany have all issued updated travel advisories, and they're sounding the alarm bells. They're specifically telling their citizens that even with a valid visa or travel authorization, stepping foot on US soil isn't a guarantee anymore. You could have everything in order, your paperwork squeaky clean, and still face the very real possibility of being denied entry. These advisories are highlighting the potential consequences of violating US entry rules. And let me tell you, they're not pretty. We're talking about the possibility of arrest, detention, and a whole lot of headaches you definitely don't want on your vacation. So what's causing this sudden shift? Well, it's all about enforcing the rules to the letter. The message is clear. The US means business when it comes to border control. Now, let's zero in on the UK for a moment. The UK Foreign Office, their official source for travel advice, is really laying down the law, so to speak. They're explicitly warning British citizens that breaking US entry rules could land them in some serious hot water, including the dreaded A word: arrest. They're also highlighting the potential for detention, which means being held by US authorities. This is a clear indication that the UK government is taking these stricter enforcement measures very seriously. They're essentially saying, look, we know you love to visit the States, but you better play by their rules, or else. It's a wake-up call for travelers to be extra vigilant and make sure they're squeaky clean when it comes to US entry requirements. Remember, ignorance is not a defense in the eyes of the law. So stay informed, stay prepared, and stay out of trouble. Hold on tight, GlobeGozers, because Germany is echoing the UK's concerns with their own set of warnings. The German Federal Foreign Office is pulling no punches, folks. They're making it crystal clear that having a visa or an ESTA, that handy little travel authorization, doesn't automatically grant you entry into the United States. It's like having a ticket to a concert that's suddenly oversold. You might have paid for your spot, but there's no guarantee you'll get through the door. Germany is emphasizing that if you're denied entry, you've got no legal leg to stand on. You can't exactly sue the US government for changing its mind at the border. Germany wants its citizens to understand that the final decision rests solely with US border agents, and their word is law. Be prepared, be informed, and be ready to answer any questions those border agents might throw your way. Well, folks, it seems like everyone's singing from the same hymn sheet on this one. Canada, our friendly neighbor to the north, is joining the chorus of cautionary tales about US travel. They're urging their citizens to be extra cautious and prepared when crossing the border. Canada is shining a spotlight on the stricter protocols in place at US border points, reminding travelers that those agents are leaving no stone unturned. They're stressing the importance of having all your ducks in a row, all your paperwork meticulously organized and up to date. The more prepared you are, the smoother your experience will be. So, take Canada's advice to heart, folks. Double-check those documents, make sure everything is in order, and breeze through those checkpoints like a seasoned traveler. Now, this next piece of information is particularly important for our transgender travelers out there. Denmark has issued specific guidance urging its transgender citizens to exercise extra caution when planning a trip to the United States. They're recommending that transgender individuals reach out to the U.S. Embassy or consulate before they even book that flight. The U.S. currently only recognizes male or female genders on official documents like passports. This can create a complicated situation for transgender travelers whose gender identity might not align with the gender marker on their passport. Denmark is advising its citizens to seek clarification and guidance from U.S. authorities to avoid any potential complications or misunderstandings at the border. So if you're transgender and dreaming of that American adventure, take Denmark's advice to heart. Now, it's time to address the elephant in the room, folks. There have been recent incidents of lawful permanent residents and tourists alike being detained by U.S. authorities. And we're not talking about a quick chat in a back room. We're talking about extended periods of detention, which is a nice way of saying being held against your will. Sometimes these detentions are related to visa issues, discrepancies in paperwork, or past criminal records that might raise red flags. Even minor offenses that you might not even think twice about can come back to haunt you at the U.S. border. So before you pack your bags, it's crucial to be upfront and honest about any past run-ins with the law, no matter how insignificant you think they might be. Now let's talk about the ripple effect, folks. All these stricter regulations and cautionary tales are sending shockwaves through the travel industry. Experts are voicing their concerns, and rightfully so. They're worried that these warnings could deter potential tourists from choosing the United States as their next vacation destination. The travel and tourism industry is a major player in the U.S. economy, employing hundreds of thousands of people. If travelers start getting spooked by these warnings and opt for destinations with less stringent entry requirements, it could have a significant impact on the U.S. economy. It's a delicate balancing act, folks, ensuring national security while also welcoming visitors with open arms. Now, let's clear up a common misconception, folks. Having a valid visa, or an ESTA, that electronic system for travel authorization, is like having a golden ticket to the United States. Right? Well, not so fast. All three countries we've talked about, the United Kingdom, Canada, and Germany, are driving home the same crucial point. A visa, or ESTA, is not an ironclad guarantee of entry. It's more like a conditional approval, a foot in the door, but not a free pass. The ultimate decision, the power to grant or deny entry, rests solely with the U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers at the port of entry. They have the final say, folks. Be prepared to answer questions, provide additional documentation, and demonstrate that you meet all the requirements for entry. So don't rest on your laurels just yet. Now you might be thinking, hold on a minute, George. Haven't there always been travel advisories about the United States? And you'd be absolutely right. We've seen warnings about gun violence, political tensions, even natural disasters. But here's the thing. These recent updates have a different flavor, a different focus. They're laser focused on border enforcement, on the potential consequences of even minor infractions, on the risks of detention and denied entry. It's a subtle but significant shift in tone, a clear indication that the U.S. is prioritizing border security like never before. So, stay informed, stay vigilant, and stay ahead of the curve. Well, folks, we've covered a lot of ground today, from stricter entry requirements to specific advice for transgender travelers. But here's the bottom line. The United States is a country of immense diversity, vibrant culture, and breathtaking landscapes. And while these recent travel advisories might seem daunting, they're not meant to discourage you from experiencing all that the U.S. has to offer. They're a call to action, a reminder to be informed, prepared, and respectful of U.S. laws and regulations. So, before you book that flight, do your homework. Check the latest travel advisories from your home country's government, visit the official U.S. Customs and Border Protection website, and reach out to the U.S. Embassy or Consulate if you have any questions or concerns. Remember, knowledge is power, and in the world of international travel, it's your passport to a smooth and enjoyable journey. So there you have it, GlobeGozers, your essential guide to the latest U.S. travel advisories. Remember, staying informed is key to a stress-free trip. Be sure to check out the links in the description for the most up-to-date information from official sources. And hey, while you're here, why not hit that subscribe button and join our amazing community of travel enthusiasts. We've got a treasure trove of travel tips, destination guides, and insider advice waiting for you. From all of us here at GlobeGoz, safe travels, happy adventures, and until next time, keep exploring this incredible world we live in. Watch our new videos in our playlist, your best source for all travel information.